breathe in to prepare and lift and hold. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. That's the first 30 seconds. Keep going. Keep lifting. Keep breathing. Keep lifting. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Coming up to the first minute now. Keep breathing. Keep lifting. Alternatives for those who wish is straight arm, straight leg. Lift, lift, lift. And you can put your knees down and back and down and back. So the more you spend in the lift-off position, with the 15 seconds to go, the harder you're working. Lift, 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 lift. That's 2 minutes, well done. And have a little stretch. And then we'll work the glutes. Hands and knee position. Pull the tummy in, and you should be neutral position. See if I can balance this here. Oops. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out, stretch. Oops. Squeeze your bottom and let the leg float off. Slide back. Stretch, squeeze. Squeeze that bottom. Stretch. And then you can hold that position with your foot on the floor still and lift off the opposite hand. So I'm just lifting it just off the floor. I'm not going to do anything like a big stretch with it, but I could just circle it like that. Put your hand down, stretch the leg away, lift it off a little bit, maybe circle the ankle. Put the toe down, circle of hand, hand down, circle the foot. Slide it in. You might need a little bit of a rest for those wrists. Do the other side. Stretch the other leg away. Squeeze. Stretch. maybe put the foot down, slide back in. Next time we're going to do that hand. Slide the leg away, keep your foot on the floor and then lift the opposite hand. Maybe do a bit of circling. Then lift your foot, circle that, hand, foot, hand, and sit back. We will go back and do more glute work in a second. Just wanted to work on the shoulders using the band. So you stretch the band across your thighs, and it's not stretched now. It's just in the relaxed mode, if you like, and the hands are just down by the seam of the trousers if you've got one. Big breath in, and then stretch the band backwards. So you're pulling backwards, not out to the side. So you stretch the band back. And release. Stretch. Release. Stretch. Breathe out there. Release. Stretch. Make sure your shoulders stay down, they don't rise up. The idea is you're squeezing the shoulder blades in and release. And release. So I thought we'd do the Dorothy 3 taps next, which is a good one for glutes, and it also works the inner thighs a little bit. And the important thing is that you've got your legs straight, so your knees should be as straight as you possibly can. So you work the quads to get those knees straight, and then basically everything from the waist down is going to be working hard here. So lying face down, rest your forehead on something. Could be your hands. And then pull your tummy in. So your tummy is sort of lifting a little bit off the floor, or trying to. Curl the toes under one at a time. Toes should be about hip distance apart. And then tighten up your knees. And then squeeze the heels inwards. Breathe out, squeeze. Breathe in, release. Make a conscious effort to use the inner thighs to squeeze. Squeeze inwards and release. Inner thighs, squeeze and release. Release the knees, release the feet. Don't forget to keep breathing. Curl the toes under. Tighten up the knees. Squeeze in, breathe out. Bottom, inner thighs, all working together. Release the heels, breathe out, squeeze, keep those knees tight. And relax the knee, heels out, sorry. One more squeeze. And release. Release the feet. Sit back. Stretch out. From here, you're in the perfect place to do the seesaw, which is a combination of a shell stretch, which is what we're in now, and a press up from the knees. So your hands should stay more or less, well, the hands should stay where they are. So they're there, you come up, and then you bend the elbows. And you go back and stretch. Come forward, press, and stretch, press, stretch. Now, using the back of the arms there as we did, one way to stretch is like that. So you push that arm backwards with this hand. So this is the muscle being stretched. And then same again. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You can do something a bit like a yoga stretch, but sort of a slight cheat because you're going to use the band to help you. So you take this behind you and pull down, and that stretches the top arm. Most people can't reach their other hand unless they are very flexible or practice yoga regularly. It's one way of stretching. Oh! And you pull that one down and that one stretches. There we go. Okay. So, time. So we'll do a little bit of rolling. It's nice to roll with the band because it basically helps you if you put the band around your feet. You might end up going all the way to the floor. But it's best to warm up a bit first. So good technique. You tilt the pelvis, keep your spine rounded so you can use upper and lower abs. Keep it rounded till you back up. If you straighten out whilst rolling, you'll be using your back muscles, so try to avoid. Roll, roll, roll. So the band helps you a little bit. Just gives you that extra little bit of help. Okay. So when we were doing our warm-up, we used the band around the foot and went out and in with it, and now I'd like to sort of reprise that, but with a bit more vigour, and add a down and up to it. So remember the arm technique. You've got your elbows grounded, your shoulders away from your ears, spine neutral. So legs straight. So bending it, straightening it. I want to be straight here. Okay, straight. Wrists. I see a lot of this. See a lot of this with the wrist, okay? So try and keep that wrist really solid. The movement should be here. So you let the arm follow the band, but keeping the wrist firm. That means there's no strain on the smaller muscles around there. You don't strain your wrist. What you'll be working, in fact, is biceps and triceps, okay? Nice big muscles. So, wrist firm, elbows grounded, and then allow the leg to go up and down. You might want to move the other leg out of the way a little bit. Just keep it nice and slow, controlled. Don't lose your neutral. When you take that leg up, it's tempting to go too far and squash you back into the floor. Try not to do that. So keep the leg in the range that you can hold neutral. So that's your limiting factor. And then out and in. So again, we're trying to stay level, try not to wobble to the side. Out and in. And then mix and match it. Down and up. Out and in. So keep the elbows grounded. Try and keep your wrists firm. Allow the arm to follow the band from the elbow. Down and up, out and in. Down and up, out and in. Down and up, out and in. And then swap legs. So yes, the one sure way of keeping the other leg out of the way is to straighten it, and that is slightly more advanced. So you could try that if you want to. I started off with the knee bent, but you might just naturally feel, actually, I want to get it out of the way and straighten it. But it's harder to balance when you're going out and in. It's harder to balance with the straight leg there. So just bear that in mind. Down and up, out and in. And then just relax. So we're going to finish off with shoulder bridge. I'm going to use my weights as well. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, roll up. The arms roll down. Bring the arms back. Roll up. Arms roll down. Arms down. So I'm going to change it now. Roll up. Arms bend so that the weight's just beyond your head. Keep the elbows still now. Straighten and bend without letting the elbows move towards the knees. So that's working your triceps, the back of the arms. And roll down. A few more triceps. Roll up. Now what I could try and do is combine knee squeezes and triceps. Shall we try that? Knees, and roll down. Knees, and roll down. Last set of 3. Roll up, squeeze, 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 roll down. You can use the band with the shoulder bridge. By wrapping it around your thighs, crossing it over and then pulling it down towards the floor. So the idea is that you're having to work the outer thigh muscles to stay hip distance apart. And in addition, by pulling down with the band, you're adding extra work to the glutes to help lift. So that's outer thighs and core working a bit harder. My band is actually quite short, so I can't keep my hands on the floor, but yours might be a little bit longer, and then it'd be great because you could just keep your hand on the floor there. So the idea is that I'm trying to keep my legs hip distance apart there. And finally, you could use the chi ball. Squeeze that between your knees, roll up, and of course you could even do a leg extension whilst squeezing the ball between your knees. Roll up, leg, roll down. If you do get cramp in the back of your leg, straighten the leg up. It's usually if you're not working the glutes quite hard enough, so the hamstring takes over. You also make sure that you've had enough to drink. Water, ideally, rather than tea, coffee or alcohol. Just want to finish off with a nice stretch. So, foot in front of knee, arms out. Take the legs over to the side and the other side. Tummy working. So after 3 each side, change legs. Foot in front of knee. Push that other knee away. Twist. Twist. Try and keep the rib cage down and your tummy flattening. Okay, you're done. You're cooked. So, walk your hands back. Curl the toes under, push your bottom up, heels down, roll up slowly. Big breath in, big breath in. Give yourself a clap.